Hi, everyone. My name is Vivek, and I'm the CEO of Tesora. Tesora takes your LLM usage and turns it into powerful digital employees. My background is in private equity, where I manage a sourcing portfolio company. My co-founder, Federico, worked at Kumo AI, a predictive AI startup and agent builder startup. He was a Stanford AI researcher as well. Let's dive in. So, as Robin said in his previous presentation, most of these are failing. What's going wrong? Everyone's building you pre-built suites of tools, and no one's really looking at what are the questions people actually ask your GPT. The thing is, what you're asking your GPT is actually the perfect thing to build any tool or agent suite. If we understand the things that are being asked to GPT or your LLM in your internal org, we can build you very specific workflows. I bet your best employee using GPT is better than any of us trying to come to you with a suite of tools. That expertise, repeated GPT use, is the perfect sandbox for learning the internal nuances of your org and continuously grow your AI usage within it. Your LLM data is a goldmine of insights into how to best leverage the AI. What we realized was, in one use case, a company kept reaching out into the world trying to get quotes. They wanted quotes around different prices, quality, and lead time of products. By building very specific workflows, sending an employee into the real world, we could actually give them this machine that gets you quotes, prices, lead time, quality, whatever it was. We built Tess, a sourcing analyst. Tess goes out into the real world, emails vendors, gets these quotes, and gives you the best leverage in any negotiation. The way we did this is our proprietary analytics engine on top of an existing GPT platform in your org. Over time, this engine becomes playbooks defining each individual employee in your org. The most powerful co-pilot use cases become your best employees, emulating the people doing these searches in your GPT log. Bringing it all together, your org is very specific, it's very nuanced, and it's also the source of your unfair advantage. By repeating what your org does at large, we scale your unfair advantage for you. Your best employees conducting the searches of workflows that dictate how you succeed as a procurement org. We deploy in under 60 days, not years, and with early customers, we've already replaced full-time sourcing analysts and saved over 5% per RFP run. We show proof with AI fast. Thank you.
You had 3 seconds left. That was amazing. Thank you so much for pitching with us today. And we're starting over here now. Do you have a pressing question for Vivek? Yes. Take it away.
First of all, thanks a lot for the presentation. Question is, so as you scrape the data from the employee chats, like how do you differentiate between somebody asking a question that actually is related to the work that they do versus what about other nonsense that they're looking at?
Yeah, I could quickly answer that. The first thing people I think use GPT the most for is like, hey, I'm making a page or I'm drafting an email. So recursively, we can see those, deduct them, and see what are the instances where you have this workflow you keep repeating week after week, like a deep research query for a vendor for a very specific part or good is a very different question than, hey, help me draft this email response to my boss. So we can deduct those and recursively figure out what are those use cases that actually lend to savings.
Is that an answer to your question? Yes. Yep. Thank you. Going that way, do you have a question? And please stand over here so that everyone can see you in the... Yes, that's better. Go ahead.
A quick question, Vivek. Would you call yourself a technology company or a functional company?
Could you repeat that?
Based on the problem you're trying to solve, would you call yourself a technology company or a procurement functional company?
I think what we're building is an analytics engine, so it's more in line with the technology company, but we're applying it to procurement and sourcing.
Thanks.
Go ahead.
Thanks a lot, Vivek. Super cool tech. What I like about it is, as a CPO, we struggle to figure out how to inject AI into the day-to-day operations of our teams, right? So this seems like a really natural step. My question for you is, how do you see the tech for the long term? What are the potential paths how does this grow? What's the future look like for Tesora?
Future, I think first we want to just go into your organization, show you value, and build you these employees. Over the long run, what's really interesting is we're basically building skills that you could download across organizations. So if everyone's searching for vendor goods or sending someone out into the world, like if all of a sudden you have this agent or employee that could go out into the world, ask for 1,000 quotes from 1,000 people. At some point, it's just going to be your data interacting with vendors, and then vendors will have some sort of employee responding, which is just their data responding to you. So the long run is, how do you interconnect all this data and get people the best pricing or the best savings they can, and have as few people in the loop other than the very important strategic ones that dictate the big savings opportunities. So the long run is just no more grunt work. This is going to be a very simple way to give you more autonomy into your decision making.
Sorry, going that way first. Maybe I'm getting back to you. Go ahead.
Hi, congratulations for the presentation. Very interesting. You are focusing on sourcing at the moment. First of all, I would love to understand if you are looking to expand. And also, what's your proprietary data on sourcing? Do you have anything that others don't have that makes your solution better? And are you targeting a specific customer segment for that?
So I would first state by saying we don't have a proprietary vendor database where we're just going to them and trying to get you better quotes like a lot of people here. What I think we have that works really well is our suite of analyzing your LLM usage. That's our proprietary engine where we can understand, like that thing I was explaining earlier, like recursively, how do I deduct finding those use cases? We developed a very specific tool to determine that. For sourcing is one of the first use cases, but this could extend to a lot of things. Like you could, in theory, also do CLM. You could do a lot of different topics, and it's just a matter of what are people using their GPT for, what's the workflow they do internally, and how do you replicate it with an agent or employee from them talking to GPT or an LLM. Yeah.
Real quick, do you have a short question?
Sure. How many paying clients you got currently, and who in that company was the most difficult to be convinced for your solution?
Who in the company, both questions?
Yeah, the ones who are paying clients, who in that company had to be convinced to use your solution?
So we're still early, we're under 10, but of the people we are selling to, the hardest pain point usually is just sending a virtual employee into the real world, like with sourcing. I think it came down to them, they were willing to trust us on indirect and a lot of the spend categories where it's like less relationship-based. To convince them, we started with, we're going to look at how you engage with people and then replicate it verbatim and just learn your style. Kind of like when you're talking to GPT, like match my tone, same exact thing. It looks at your email correspondence and then does this over time. The idea is it's just scaling. But convincing them to get comfortable around, hey, I'm sending a machine into the world that represents my company.